Hello everybody, it's me, it's PokemonTripHD, and welcome back to some more Dragalia Lost content. In today's video, we're going to be going over the new interview from actually the director of Dragalia Lost, Yuji Okada. So if you're unfamiliar, Yuji Okada is the director of Dragalia Lost. Like I said, he's a new director. He's been in charge for, was it a couple months now or something like that? So he took over from Matsura, still R.I.P. Matsura. I just slammed my mic. I'm so sorry. Still R.I.P. Matsura. You will be missed and you will never be forgotten. But director Okada is the director now. So he actually had an interview. I believe it was like to celebrate the first anniversary of Dragalia Lost. So that's what this interview was. And I'm going to kind of cover this interview in a sort of live reaction type thing. However, I did skim through this just to make sure that it's not complete, just fluff or whatever. So there is some pieces of info that I do want to talk about in this interview. So that's the reason I'm making this video. And like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a first reaction. Like I said, I did skim through it, so I know what the questions are sort of based around. So yeah, also shout out to Soren, JU, and Kanugas in the Discord. I did ask if anyone wanted a shout out, so shout out to them. Also, RIP Heatrust, one day you'll get him in. But yeah, anyways, let's discuss this in a second. I just want to say on my phone, I'm actually going to be autoing IO right now because it's still Sunday. 2 times IO drops are still available. So if you see me look over and press a couple buttons on my phone, it's because I'm autoing IO on my phone as I play. And how is your IO grinding going? Are you enjoying the double IO grinding? It's a pretty real grind. So yeah, that's the reason I'm going to look over. My phone is like right here. I'll show you guys. I am playing Dragalia Lost literally right there. So yeah, and also the new event, Fractured Futures, actually features the Future Prince, which is just like I predicted. People were saying it was Aurelius, but it's pretty much confirmed to be the Prince. So yeah, because the Prince is looking at the Prince and is like, that's me. So yeah, it's the Prince, and I'm really looking forward to that event. It's gonna be super exciting. But anyways, I believe it's time for us to just hop straight into the Yuji Okada interview. So of course, this is translated by a Reddit user, Awkward Space Turtle. I will leave the link to this post in the description down below. Again, huge shout out to this Reddit user. I'm not sure if he's on any of the translations or whatnot, but again, shout out to this Reddit user for actually posting it here. So without further ado, let's actually begin this. So welcome Nintendo Inside Games iOS Android Action RPG Dragalia Lost first year anniversary on the 27th of September. So this interview was for the anniversary. I'm assuming this interview was done a little bit before the anniversary. No, actually, I just pulled a legendary worm, pretty nice. Anyways, I'm assuming this interview was done a little bit before the anniversary actually dropped and the digest and everything, because there's a couple questions here that really make no sense whatsoever because the digest literally covered those exact topics. So I will make note of those. But anyways, let's begin with the first question. Ever since taking over as director in July, is there any new content you can tell us about? Our direction remains the same, which is to create an action RPG that is easy to play with smooth controls and good character development. However, there are still some parts of the game that we feel that is not as comfortable to play as it should be, and we also feel that the amount of content in the game is not enough yet. So as a new director, I would like to work on these areas of the game. This is actually a nice piece of info. He's basically saying what he wants the game to be, what his vision of the game is, which I like how he's, being so transparent with it. He's actually very transparent in this interview, which I do like from Okada. So he's saying there's parts of the game that they want to make better, quality of life things, which we've already gotten a lot of those showcased in the digest. The amount of content in the game is not enough yet. And again, in the digest, they showed off plenty of new pieces of content that they're going to add. Expert and master difficulties for the High Dragon Trials, the new story chapters, the new story segments. They're going to be adding those harder than High Dragon Trial bosses, I believe, at the end of this year. So there's a lot of content that they do want to add. And it looks like they want to make it a lot more of an RPG type game, which I'm actually really happy about. That's the kind of direction I want the game to go in, and that's the game it looks like Okada's going to go in, so that's really nice. Next question. It has been a year since our DL. What was the event that left the biggest impression on you? You can tell us how the event was conceived. He said it's the Faye event. Yeah, not really going to discuss that. Faye was the first collaboration. Why such a timing? Basically, he's just saying they started the Faye event a little bit later because they wanted to establish DL, on its own before they did that, which I think is smart. But again, I don't think he wasn't even the director during that time, so I don't know why. Anyways. The main story is up chapter 10 right now. What is your favorite scene so far? It's the scene where the protagonist's sister, Zethia, becomes the enemy in chapter 5. Again, spoilers if you haven't played chapter 5, but why would you be watching this video if you didn't play chapter 5? Chapter 5 is so easy to get to. But yeah, that's actually my favorite scene in the story as well. So I'm actually really happy he likes that because that was, like I said, the art was insane. It was the biggest plot point in the story as well. So yeah, big fan of that part in the game as well. Next question in a second. Here we go. I was certainly surprised. I seen the game chapter 6. So what was the turning point story? What were the characters, or what were the chapters and scenes that received the most feedback? He's basically saying what chapters got the most feedback, what was the most enjoyed by the fans. And the chapter that revealed the siblings of the Iberian Kingdom always garner the most responses. Now I'm not sure if those are good responses or bad responses, but they're responses, I guess. He's basically saying that he wants everyone in the game to have a certain personality, and he's surprised Emil got attention, which I am too. I don't really like Emil, but that's just me. Leonidas and Valix were designed with the image of dependable elder brothers in mind, and they were also well received. So he created them with dependable elder brothers. Leonidas does not seem very dependable, if you ask me. Neither does Valix. They're kind of both trying to kill Yuden, but yeah. Anyways, we don't talk about that. Maybe he plans in the future for them to change sides. I'm kind of, also, actually, this was a part, I remember this part. Emil, even though he has a troublesome personality, perhaps the reason that he is liked so much is that some of you just can't hate him. As for what will happen to him in the future, I'm sure everyone is excited, so please look forward to future developments. That's actually really interesting, because it kind of shows that they're going to do something with maybe not necessarily Emil, but maybe all the characters, where they're going to, go to Yuden's side and maybe we can summon them. That might happen. That's kind of what I feel like. But I don't know. Well, we'll see. Oh, right here. Here it is. The playlist to make him a playable character. He plans to implement that in the future. As you know from the events that happened in Chapter 10, the relationships between siblings have changed dramatically. Right now, they are important characters in the main story, but we will think of ways to surprise the player base in the future. This is actually what I want to talk about. So this here shows that he's basically saying they're not playable now, but they'll be playable in the future. That's literally what he is saying. So I'm assuming none of the brothers and sisters are going to die. Even if they do die, he's probably just going to release them anyways. But they're probably going to be released. Whether it's Galas or not Galas, I don't know. But they will be released at some point in the story. And they might go to Yuden's side in the story eventually. Maybe Yuden's going to win them over because he's stronger. Because again, all the siblings are just following Morseati because he's stronger. So yeah, anyways, that's just kind of my thoughts. That was the part I kind of wanted to talk about. So we were probably like, I'm very, very certain that we're going to get all the siblings as playable characters eventually. Seems like Chapter 10 is the climax of the story. But how far is the development of the main story going right now? To the public, it might seem like the story is showing signs that it's ending, but on the development side of things, the story is nowhere near completion. It will be a story that betrays your expectations in a good way, so please look forward to it. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm really hoping it's not just, we're going into Dragon Ball Z territory with the story recently, so I'm really hoping it's not just going to go down the generic shonen path where Yuden just goes, beats Morseati, GG, no re, all the siblings are on our side now. I really hope it's not like that, and I'm actually really curious to what the main story is going to be after. After we beat Morseati. Are we gonna beat him soon? I don't even know what's happening, but yeah. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen after that, but I'm really looking forward to it because, like I said, he said it's gonna betray our expectations in a good way. And like I said, we're going into DBZ territory, and if you know what I mean by DBZ territory if you played the newest chapter. But yeah, that's okay. Next question. How soon will we get the main story chapters from now on? Again, this is released in a digest. We're getting it every 2 months. Next question regarding characters. Since this is a late game, this is a game that focuses heavily on the action element. It seems that it would be difficult to create characters. What is the creation process for the characters like? His response just, I don't really understand his response. It's like, we create them to make them enjoyable. Okay, sure, buddy. Is there a certain order with the illustrations and the characters setting in the creation process? Depends. Okay. Then what about the Gala versions? And then Gala versions are just the story versions. And he's like, the Gala version of the prince will be appearing. So yeah, this is obviously, this interview took place probably maybe right after the digest or right before the digest. And he's release it after the digest, something, I don't know. Who is your favorite character? He says his number 1 is Agni, which is what the heck? He likes Agni the most. I did not expect that. And he says the design team really likes Cleo and Maritimus, which is hilarious because those are actually 2 of the most popular, adventurers or dragons. Maritimus is a dragon, actually at all. So it's really funny. Cleo is super popular. She has an amazing. Is that the reason she has an amazing alt? Maybe Maritimus is going to get an alt one day. I actually think it's pretty much confirmed, saying that the design team really likes Maritimus. So he's probably going to get an alt one of these days. By the way, which weapon type do you play the most? I play all of them pretty much. Please give us details and highlights regarding the anniversary. Coinciding with the Gala, players going to blah, blah, blah. Okay, we already know that from the digest. It's only become easier to play over this past year. What does the game currently have to appeal to potential players? He's basically trying to sell the game. There wasn't much content or characters when the game first launched, and the amount of content in the game was actually a big issue. However, now that we've reached our first year, the number of characters, dragons, and wyrmprints have increased dramatically. You can say that again. And the amount of content like High Dragon Trials have also increased substantially. We will also gradually add more systems of convenience like the automatic function, speed function, and the items to immediately finish building facilities so that players can proceed comfortably to more challenging content without much stress. So the automatic function is basically, this was released in the digest, I believe, or they talked about in the digest, where the quest is automatically going to repeat itself. So IO right now, you see me doing IO, I have to click and click and click to auto and then do this and do this and do that and click and then boom. Instead of doing that, it's just going to do it all by itself, I'm assuming, and then play it. So that's going to be really, really nice. And this will make the game more satisfying to play, releasing new content while adjusting the current balance. Yep. Are there other highlights? There'll be time-limited celebration voice lines. We're listing 3 stickers of Cerise. Yeah, okay, we didn't know that. The rebalance system has also been updated to make it easier to play. First of all, that's not a question, that's a statement. And then he's like, yes. We have been holding multiple raid events for a year, and it was starting to get monotonous. So we were thinking of improving it to make it feel different each time. So we have come up with the raid boost system, which increases the parameters randomly every time you participate in a raid. Players can get exciting things. I don't really understand that part. Like, you just do them all and then get them all. But in addition, players can also accumulate tokens that provide entrance to EX boss battles. Like enter boss battles releasing September 30th. We already know that. It was released in the news. Content anniversary. Also include a new difficulty. Players, that's Omega, of course. We're getting Omega. And I believe it's just Omega, and then you get cogs and stuff. So yeah, new players and vendors alike should enjoy it. So this is nice that they're recognizing, you know, right here. They're recognizing, where is it? It was starting to get monotonous right there. They're recognizing that the events, especially raid events, are getting kind of boring. Like, it's the exact same thing, just different skin on the boss pretty much, like every single time. So I'm liking that they're addressing, saying, yes, we understand it's getting annoying, getting boring. That's why we're changing it up. You know, that's why we're adding Omega difficulty. That's why we're making, you know, this boss actually doesn't move, it looks like, from the clip from the video that we got released in the news today. He looks like he doesn't move, so we just attack him while trying to dodge his attacks, and he just stands in the same spot. So that's gonna be really cool. Yeah, that's really nice that they're recognizing that, you know, raids are monotonous and that they need to change something to make the game not stale. I have a question regarding future content. Since multiplayer content is popular in DL, will the proportion of multiplayer content be increasing in the future? Regarding the high difficulty content that we have now, 4-player co-op challenges have received positive feedback, so we would like to continue working on and improving this aspect as the game's main attraction point for our players. However, it's not easy to schedule amongst 4 players, so we are also thinking of increasing the amount of single-player content. While we are planning to release more multiplayer content like the current High Dragon Trials, we'd also like to adjust it such that new players can participate easily. So I don't really understand what he's saying by this when he says we want to make harder content, but we also want the new players to play this harder content. Like, what? I don't know. I think it should be a nice progression system where, like, you know, Void Battles is the easiest one. You know, at first it's IOs, then it's Void Battles, then it's High Dragon Trials, and then it's going to be, you know, those Chimera boss contents or whatever those things were that he showed off in the digest. That's what I want it to be, like a nice progression like that. I think that would be nice. You know, IO doesn't really count as content, you know what I mean? Like Void Battles, High Dragon Trials, and then those things. And they're, you know, adding some actually pretty tough single-player fights like that cube. I haven't fought the cube yet. I'm waiting until after double IOs to do that, since, you know, we do have half stamina main campaign right now. So, yeah, I like that. I like how he wants to make both content for, you know, co-op and then content for single-player things like you know, facility events. You have to do the facility event, you know, the actual challenge battle by yourself. So I like how they're making more things, hopefully making more things like that. I think that would be nice. I do want to see, you know, defensive battles show up, Kaleidoscope show up. We have to see what they want to do, you know, with those two in mind specifically. Hopefully they release those sometime soon. I thought it would be for the 1-year anniversary, to be honest, but it's not. So yeah, I think the co-op, I think you know, the bosses he showed off in the digest are going to be for co-op, and then he might make defensive battles solo. Maybe not. He might make, you know, Kaleidoscope solo. There's, you know, there's a lot of potential for solo things they can do. They can just, you know, do something like the cube solo, or maybe, you know, facility events. Who knows? What kind of adjustments specifically? The amount of information available for high difficulty content tends to drop over time, and it then becomes harder to clear the content. We're considering introducing ways to provide the strategy to clear high difficulty content after a certain period of time has passed. In order to minimize the stress to our players, we're thinking of improving the guidance offered to players. So he's going to give more tips, basically, for the people who, you know, mainly for newer players, you know, who don't, you know, go onto YouTube and search up guides or something for High Dragon Trials. They're kind of going to have, like, I would say, like, little not tips or something. You know, there's tips every time you load up a battle. Maybe they're going to make those tips, you know, more relevant to High Dragon Trials and stuff. There are 8 types of weapons currently. Are you planning to increase them in the future? If we simply increase the number of weapons, there is a definite concern that the current systems that we have in place would be disrupted. So it is not something that we can do right away. However, it is something that we are considering. So he's basically saying maybe, maybe not. I do think they will add new weapon types eventually in the game. He said we're considering it. So I think eventually we're 100% going to get new weapon types. We have a Mega Man crossover already in the works, so they might do some sort of blaster weapon type. I don't really know much about Mega Man, so I can't really say, my exact thoughts on that, but I know he has like a blaster thing that he shoots out of, so we could get some sort of weapon type like that, maybe like a special just Mega Man has that weapon type, and then they could release more in the future. They can do guns, they can do gauntlets. There's so much possibilities for weapon types that they can add, but I do agree with him. If they add a new weapon type, they're going to have to make it a new co-ability, which that alone is going to add a whole nother dimension to the game. Golly Eden's co-ability adds another big dimension to the game. Dragons are super viable now, as soon as there's a good light dragon, but dragons are viable. So if they add more co-abilities like that, new weapon types is going to change everything. So I do agree with him. He has to balance things out. He has to think about them, not necessarily him, design team, whatever. They have to think about them before they actually implement them. Like they have to think about them really, really hard before they implement them. So you have to recognize that. Which characters will be receiving the 6th Mana Circle unlocks? Since it's currently still under development, it's not something that I can go into specifics about. However, it would be the characters in the main story and characters that were released in the early stages of the game that we would like to strengthen, and we are planning on introducing them one by one. So this is actually really, really nice. Also, the last question is completely irrelevant. That's like the stupidest question I've ever seen. But anyways, this is really interesting. He's basically saying, for the 6th Mana Circle, which was, revealed in the digest, we are going to release the 6th Mana Circle only for story characters and for characters that were released in the very early parts of the game. I'm sure they're gonna update the early parts of the game. By the 2nd anniversary, maybe we're gonna have all the 1st anniversary characters with the 6th Mana node. Who knows? But at the moment, probably just the first couple months of characters, or the original 9 maybe. They're going to increase those people's stats because those adventures are pretty lackluster, if I'm being honest. The only non-lackluster ones of the original, I believe 8 or 9, I don't remember how many there were, is probably Mikoto, who's again power creep by Reina now. Xander, who is actually still very, very solid, and Hildegard. Hildegard's a healer, so you can't really compare her for Mercurial Gauntlet and stuff, but Hildegard's healer, she's also great. So yeah, they're gonna do that, and there's a lot like Ezlith, Hawk, Nefaria, who really, really need a boost to actually be useful, because at the moment there's really no reason to use them over other adventures in the game. So I'm really liking that they're only gonna do this for characters that need it. Except he does say main story characters. I'm not sure if that means Gala characters exactly. That's a big maybe, because Gala characters are already amazing. So if they do it for Galas, it's gonna be kind of sucky, because again, like I said, Galas are already tier 1 or tier 2. So I don't know about that one, but main story characters mean Yuden, Alex, Ellie, Ranzel, Cleo, and Luca. Forgot Luca. I didn't do that on purpose. And Luca. So they're probably all going to get a 6th node. Also, actually, no, I was going to say Theory. I think Luca might die eventually, but that's a whole different topic for a different video. Actually, it's a Nintendo game. They might not. But anyways, I think they're all going to get a 6 mana node, and they do need it for the most part. I don't think Alex and Ellie really need it. Ellie definitely not, but we'll see what happens when they do roll it out. I don't know if they're going to do for every single one of those characters, but I think original Yuden will get it. I do think, original, yeah, I think Yuden will get it for sure, and the rest I'm not really sure about. We'll see once that happens. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole interview. Again, let me know what you guys think about this interview and about the future of the future direction of the game. This is kind of just what I wanted to make this video about. Again, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Hopefully this video wasn't too long. I don't even know when I started recording, so hopefully it's not too long. It probably was pretty long though. Yeah, let me know all your thoughts about everything in the comments down below. As I just go through the video, just let me know your comments if you want, or like I said, the link will be in the description down below. So just click the link and respond to it as you're reading it. Whatever you want to do. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Whatever you want to do. Let me know how your summons went, you guys, on the Gala banners. Are you saving? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Hope you guys have a great day, and until next time, have a nice trip.